Hi everyone, welcome back to A Sky Full of Stars, Orihime's Route, episode 8. So Orihime confessed to Akito in the last episode, and it started with a little kiss in response to Akito briefly mentioning that he likes Orihime. And Orihime really wanted to be Artemis, the person who she dressed up as or acted as during the event, and it's created quite a rift among many people, especially for Saya. So Saya does understand that, well, Akito wants to be with Orihime, but in secret she was crying, and Hikari is not happy with what Akito did while she's gone. And I'm sure for Takeichi, he's jealous, like, well, I can't believe you have a really hot girl who wants to be with you. And if there's one reason why, it's because, well, Orihime wants to have somebody who can share her dreams of the stars and all the mythological stories behind the stars. And obviously, the only person who would fit is Akito himself. So, let's see what happens now. So it's the next day after a pretty heated discussion with Komako, well actually Hikari, on the phone, and with Saya upset but understanding. So I ran to Takeichi as he made me give him the full story about what happened. So I asked Hikari to help out for now. Well, I guess that would be okay. Yeah. So we know that a boy would be no good in this situation. That's true. And I'm sure Saya, or Hikari being a close friend of Saya, could be the best choice. He went quiet for a moment. He must have been thinking about something.
質問ってのはそんなことじゃない。白鳥さんと約束でもしてたのか?
He said this looking out the window. No. Well, we don't have any plans.
見ろよ。すげえことになってんぞ。
So I hurry over to look at the window, and there's a crowd of people at the school gates. Uh-oh. There are many people from Hoshino Dai-ichi passing the gate on their way home. And each time they pass, they glance over. Well, I think that's just one problem. So there is an unbearable feeling of being out of place. But this too is a test. I had to get used to it. So if Sai is able to get used to it for all these years, I should be able to do the same thing too, now that I'm the replacement. And Orihime being all girly and friendly is going to make it worse. So is that true? I thought these words come naturally when speaking politely. I'm sure that's just Orihime. So it's like, well, if she leads me to the astronomy club room, it's going to be a big giveaway, so I think it's best to do it myself. Or I'll just wait here. So I know how Saya felt when she was called the commuter wife. The excitement of our not knowing when he could become addictive.
最近あんまり見かけないんだよね。
ああ、彼女でしたら申し訳ありません。通い妻ちゃんを引退されましたわ。
So she stopped being the commuter wife.
どういうこと？通い妻ちゃん引退ってマジ？
So she really quit?
この度私が彼と正式にお付き合いすることになったんです。
So it's kind of like I'm the replacement, and when I first showed up with commuter wife 1, it was kind of like she was training me to become the replacement, and then once I'm ready, number 1 resigns. So Saya.
なので通い妻ちゃんのお役目は私に託されましたの。
So I'm now the official new commuter wife.
それじゃあもう来てくれないの？なんだか寂しいな。
Well, that's kind of sad.
ごめんなさい。
People had gathered around us as we talked to see what is going on. So what could I do? I'm not fit to stand in for Saya. Okay, so Akira comes out. Okay, Orihime.
アキト君？
Oh, I'm sorry to make you wait, so let's go then. So he pulls my hand and leads me out the gate. So, okay, I'm gonna pull you out before you create more of a scene with the other students here. So I rushed Orihime away from Hoshino Dai-ichi. And I have heard people saying this and that from behind, but we had made it end away without it bothering us. And I'm sure it's the jealousy comments that really turn up on Akito. So, I can't believe you have a hot girl that wants to be with you. I'm jealous. How come we can't be the same?
助けてくれたのですか？
Well, I'm your boyfriend, Orihime, so I did.
ありがとうございます。
Orihime seems bothered too, and I could see that she is relieved. So just call me right away if that happens again. So if you get too many people all over you asking all these uncomfortable questions, just call me for help.
呼ばなくても来てくれましたわ。
But you still came anyways. Well, that doesn't mean I can always come. And it's like, well, if you want me to come sooner, that's what you have to do.
助けてくれないんですね。
Her voice sweetly begs and her eyes look up at me. And she's able to make her voice so sweet like this. Well, I'll help you, but I don't want you to be a spectacle, Orihime. So there are times where I won't be available, and I don't want you to basically be sucked in by this crowd when I'm not available or not here. And if that kind of thing repeats itself, she would end up with another nickname.
先ほどのアキト君、かっこよかったですわ。早くも惚れ直してしまいました。
So let her momentum carry us onto the bus. But after a while, I realized something important. Oh no, my bag. Uh-oh. So I left it in the club room. There you go. And luckily, my phone and wallet are in my pockets, so I wouldn't be too badly off.
戻りますか？
So do you want to go back then? Oh no, I'll just have someone else bring it. And I hope he is willing to after... Well, I'm sure he knows that Akito is with Orihime and... Okay, so he has Takeichi help. And Takeichi is already jealous that Akito is with Orihime. So I told him I'd give him a stop and buy pork bun in exchange. So I'll give a free pork bun for you if you help me. Oh, by the way, Orihime. So I said I'd go home with her, but we are headed in the wrong direction. So where are we going? I got on the bus to Mikazuki Station without thinking, and it's only getting us further from Orihime's house.
お邪魔かしら。
So is it a bother that I'm going to your place?
一応差し入れも持ってきたのだけれど。
She says this and shows me a paper bag. So what's inside?
内緒ですわ。
Well, secret. So the bus arrives at Mikazuki Station before long. And Kotarou's here.
こんにちは、小太郎さん。
Hello! So at least he's okay with Orihime.
よーしよし。いい子ですわね。という感じでよかったかしら。
Oh, that's good. Orihime isn't used to dogs. So Kotarou's wagging his tail happily at being petted by such a pretty girl. Well, if you pet him too much, your coat will be covered in fur.
それは
Orihime froze up suddenly, and it seems it's already too late. So Kotarou's too excited now. Okay, so you do have lint on, or pet fur on your coat, so I'll go clean you up with my lint roller.
よろしくお願いしますわ。これは
So, I'm sure the lint roller, that problem has been occurring a lot for Saya on a regular basis, and that's why Akito has a lint roller just for Saya. So she took off her coat, and I rolled it for her. So if you remember in the very, very beginning, when Saya really wanted to pet Kotarou, but Akito's like, well, that's the time when he's shedding his fur, so stay away. But when Saya stepped away, Kotarou was already excited that he jumped all over Saya, and because Saya fell because of her poor balance, she got fur all over her uniform, and Akito had to clean her up. Okay, so turn on the kotatsu while you wait. I spread her coat on the tatami mats and remove the fur. Okay. So wait before you get under the kotatsu, so your uniform is in fur too.
分かっていますわ。
Okay, so Orihime is very interested in the lint roller. So you want to try then?
私にも可能でしょうか。
Can I? So you just have to roll like this. And I showed her how to use it. And Orihime leans in to me to watch. So her breast bounced right in front of my eyes. Oh, you're a little bit close.
ごめんなさい。つい。
She hurriedly puts distance between us and my comment. And we became aware of each other at the worst time. Here you go.
お借りしますわね。
Okay, so all cleaned up. And I passed the lint roller to Orihime. Okay, so you try it on your coat.
コロコロ。
And I hope she's doing it correctly rather than playing with it. She didn't have to say that every time, but it's so cute, so I didn't say anything else.
こんなに小太郎さんの毛がついていたのね。
Well, this is not bad at all, so it gets everywhere when he's shedding.
ごっそりというとどのくらい？
Well, you can make it into a baseball.
まあ。
So people who don't own a Shiba could not understand. So even brushing him every day, every time there is a ball-sized clump of fur. And it stops when he is finished shedding, but there's always enough fur to stick on your clothes.
コロコロが毛でいっぱいになってしまいました。
Okay, let me see it. Okay, so if it's full, you do this. So I peel the sticky tape away, and I pull off the perforation, ball it up, and throw it in the trash can.
お、すごいですわ。
So don't you see, or don't you use this all at your house, Orihime?
我が家では見たことありませんわ。
So her eyes are drawn to the like new tape on the lint roller. So it's true, It must have been fun to peel it off the first time I used it. I had cleaned everything with it for a while.
もっとコロコロします。
Well, if you do too much, you'll pull off the material off your coat, so be careful.
わかっていますわ。
She really is a worry. And it sounds like she had already rolled a little material off.
このくらいにして差し上げますわ。
Okay, that's it. She hotly announced she's finished. Okay, so next, so your uniform.
寒いので速やかに終わらせましょう。
Well, I'm cold. I want to be in the kotatsu ASAP. So Orihime must have wanted to get under the kotatsu right away. There you go. And she starts rolling her own skirt. It must have been easier than her coat. It's clean right away.
前はこれでよろしいかと。後ろはついていませんわよね。
So her front is where Kotarou touched her. She should not have any fur on her butt. Well, at least that's what I thought. Oh, so there's some on your back.
本当ですか？
She starts hurriedly rolling the back of her skirt.
取れましたか？
So did I get everything? No, not yet.
では、その恥ずかしいですけれど。
Okay.
お願いしますわ。
Orihime, blushing bright red, presses me the lint roller. Okay.
直接触れられるわけではありませんから。
Well, I'll have to bear with it. And it shouldn't have been anything to be ashamed of, but Orihime is treating it like it's something really embarrassing. So she must have decided that when she asked me... Okay, so don't move. I slowly pushed the lint roller against Orihime's behind. So, does it tickle?
少し。
A little bit. So I moved the lint roller, careful not to push too hard. And I moved it along the line of Orihime's hips. And I'm not touching her directly, but I could definitely see the line of her body. I could not normally see the shape of her body so well, and I ended up staring. Well, I'm done now.
ありがとうございました。
So I'm sorry, it was quite embarrassing for you. I didn't have to apologize, but I could not help it. And with all of Kotarou's fur finally removed, we got under the kotatsu. Okay, so Orihime is now in Akito's kotatsu, and...
このぬくもり、愛しいですわ。
Orihime must have really been cold before, because under the kotatsu, she seems so happy and relaxed. While both of her hands under the kotatsu, she leans her body into this top board. Hey, don't be polite, so just stretch your legs out.
最初から遠慮などしていませんわ。
Well, I think in Akito's sense, like, well, it is still kind of polite. Well, maybe because it's just the two of us. She's totally relaxed. As for me, though, not so much.
極楽ですわ。
So apparently, the way that Orihime is under the kotatsu, it's kind of being suggestive to Akito. So it certainly looks like paradise to me. So it's kind of enticing or mesmerizing Akito. Her bulging chest is really resting casually on top of the kotatsu in front of me. It vaguely reminds me of the time Corona had taken them resting on her head. Orihime is already leaned so far forward that her face is almost on top of them.
どうかしまして？
Nothing. I tried casually to act as if I had not noticed. But before me, those two soft fruits seemed to suck in my gaze, and I'm in anguish. Oh, right. So the food. So you brought something, didn't you?
うっかりこたつの魔力に飲み込まれるところでした。
So she put the paper bag she forgot about on top of the kotatsu.
メロンペから聞いたんです。こたつに必須のアイテムがあると。じゃじゃーん、おみかんですわ。
So what does the orange have to do with anything? So there are a bunch of oranges in the bag.
果物店で購入しましたの。店主の方も甘いおみかんだと太鼓判を押してくださいましたわ。ささ、お一つどうぞ。
And thanks. Okay, I picked up an orange and started peeling it. The skin is thin and the inside is juicy, and I could see how sweet it is. Well, it's sweet.
店主の方のおっしゃる通りでよかったですわ。
Hey, don't just watch. So Orihime, here, have one. I picked up an orange and gave it to her. But Orihime didn't take it.
こたつから手を出したくありません。
She declares like a rebellious child. And even Miharu-san would not know what to do. Hey, don't be so self-centered.
おみかんとこたつを天秤にかけてこたつを取ったまでのこと。
She's being ridiculous. So the oranges are sweet and delicious.
誘惑には屈しません。
So do you just not want to peel it?
そこまで堕落してはおりませんわ。
So I wonder what's wrong. No, but she was, I thought. So the kotatsu and oranges go together. So I picked up a wedge and put it in my mouth. And the perfect tang with a robust sweetness. I couldn't say it to my manager, but it's better than what I could get at the store. Okay, so the orange is good.
美味しそうに食べるとは卑怯な。
So you're making me feel bad that... Well, there are plenty of oranges here. And I held one out again. But she just sat there with her chin resting just above her chest.
こうなったら。
Okay, so you feed me then. So the problem is that Orihime is so glued into the kotatsu that it makes it hard for her to move anywhere. And she wants to have an orange, but she can't do so on her own. Now it's like, okay, you will have to feed me then. She opens her mouth to be fed.
おみかんくださいな。
So please pass the orange. Eat it yourself.
ですわ。
Oh, come on. I said so she really wants to be fed. The situation is killing me.
早く。早く。
Okay, alright. I gave in to Orihime's begging and put an orange wedge in her mouth. And I hope Orihime doesn't eat a seed.
甘い。
Her beef or her smile is so happy.
もう一つくださいな。
So, more? And once I allowed it once, there's no turning back. So, I want more. That was not enough. And I fed Orihime as many oranges as she wanted. So you'll end up like me, Haru-san, if this keeps up. As to...
大丈夫。あなた以外の前でこんなことしませんわ。
Well, you're my boyfriend, so I want a special treatment from you, and I won't ask this from other people. Well, I don't know you could act like this, Orihime.
がっかりしました。
So is it bad? I'm just surprised. Well, I think this is cute too. Yeah, cute. And
私も可愛いって言われることがあるのね。
she's slightly moved. And I thought Orihime is cute, but she's more like a beautiful type, so she may not have been used to hearing this. Okay, so after this little orange feeding event, it's late, and it's past 6.
お友達の方はまだいらっしゃいませんの？
So Takeichi is going to come by and give me my bag, but it doesn't look like he would be here anytime soon. So he's in the basketball club, and practice can be really tough.
運動部の方は大変ね。
That's true. The humanities club could difficult, but the astronomy club is not that physically demanding. It's like, well, he's in basketball, he's probably tired from his really big practice, and he needs some time to relax before he comes over. And not having to practice is a pretty big difference. So do you need to go home then, Orihime?
もうしばらくこたつを堪能させてください。
Or it's probably an excuse to stay with Akito longer. Orihime is obsessed with the kotatsu. I need to end this before it gets out of control. Okay, only until I need to go to work.
何時からなの？
So when do you start? 7. So 1 more hour at the most. The owner had some kind of appointment apparently. And they really wanted me to work tonight, so I had agreed.
では時間まで目いっぱい堪能させてもらいますわね。
So I'll enjoy every second every second that's possible. And with that, Orihime sunk deeper into the kotatsu. And our conversation dried up, and I had difficulty coming up with a new topic. So my room really isn't that suited to entertaining guests. There's not much else to do except one more orange. And there had to be something else that we could do. Anything that would entertain Orihime. So, more oranges. Orihime pokes me with her foot.
そんな顔するものではないわ。私と一緒にいるのがそんなにつまらない？
So, do you not like having me around? No, not at all. And I just is worried that Orihime is getting bored. I don't think she's getting bored. And it kind of feels like she's concerned, like, well, I don't think Akito likes me around here, so it kind of feels like he's trying to make me leave.
私は幸せよ。こたつに入ってるからというだけではなく、あなたとこうしてるのが楽しいの。だからね。
Right. Orihime is sitting at the table looking prim. Like she's trying to provoke me.
でいでい。今日は他の足と間違えようがないわね。
And the only people under the kotatsu is Orihime and me. And the only feeling teasing me is hers. So I blocked her attack and countered.
やりますわね。これでどうです？
So you're being mean to me. An unseen battle began underneath the kotatsu. So feet fight, leg fight. And Orihime had turned on the heater, so it's getting even better, or hotter. And we're sweating mildly as we fought over with our legs.
少々おふざけが過ぎましたわね。
Okay, so I hope it's alright. So we agree to ceasefire of the Great Kotatsu War. So fighting with just your legs is really exhausting. Well, you really went overboard, did you, Orihime?
あら、私のせい？あなたもかなり楽しんでいたみたいだけれど。ほら、表情も先ほどとは大違いよ。
And now that I think about it, I'm a bit more relaxed. So this is her grand plan when she started the fight.
でも決着がつかないのもすっきりしませんわね。
She really did have a competitive streak. But simply watching her is relaxing. And Orihime's leg accidentally hits mine.
ごめんなさい。わざとじゃないのよ。
Well, I know, so don't apologize. And when you sit across from somebody under a kotatsu, you're bound to bump into each other.
さっきは意識してなかったけれど、少し照れくさいわね。
Yeah, well, it kind of is. And I know that Orihime is thinking about me. I got butterflies just looking at her like this. Okay, so what else now? Thump, and Orihime's leg touches me again. So is that another accident?
そうよ。
Orihime starts to poke at me with her legs again. And it's obviously on purpose. And this time I tried poking her leg. Well, I didn't do that on purpose either.
もう、アキトくんったら。
She launches a counterattack and starts to touch me with her toes. And it's just her toes at first, but after a bit, she starts to slide her legs over mine. So how's this now? I'll just, And we continue to touch each other like this in silence. I could not see under the table, so I had to go by feeling. I focused all my senses on my legs as I felt the shape of her legs and the feeling of her skin.
ようやく恋人同士っぽくなれましたわね。
Well, I couldn't do this if we were not dating.
ええ。でもちょっと大胆すぎたかしら。
Orihime says as she timidly rubs legs with me. And I feel both her socks and her bare thighs at the same time.
やっぱり恥ずかしいですわ。
Orihime is squirming as she turns bright red. And even though she is embarrassed, I'm happy that Orihime wants to touch me even more. And also, she's my girlfriend. Wait, Orihime? I stood up driven by passion and grabbed Orihime's hand.
アキトくん？
So, confused, Orihime stands up as well. Well, I love you, Orihime. I want everything about her and held her tightly.
私もですわ。
Orihime gently holds onto me too. And we embraced each other like this for a while. And I thought the tension from all the leg touching would dissipate, but it didn't. And I couldn't stop my desire for her. So Orihime, holding her tight, I pleaded her name. And I want to kiss those lips that were right in front of me.
これ以上はダメよ。
So why?
だって。
Because, So she's going to say something like it being embarrassing, it wouldn't have stopped me.
まだ両親からキスのお許しをもらっていませんもの。
And looking troubled, she confessed. Wait, so permission?
あなたとお付き合いすることはきちんと了承を得たのよ。
So apparently, I got the okay from the parents to date with you.
でもキスはまだ先の話と思っていましたから、まだお母様にも相談していないの。
So as she talks, I stare like a fool, having difficulty imagining getting a parent's approval at her own age.
おかしいか
So is it wrong or such? No, so just thinking about it, it sounds like you. And I forced a smile as I said that. So all the passion we had felt a moment ago had evaporated in an instant.
どうせ世間知らずだと思ったのでしょう。
So it kind of feels like it's a problem. Well, it's one part of your charm, Orihime. And I'm not trying to insult her. Well, I honestly thought that part of her is cute.
いちいち両親の許可を得るなんておかしいと思われるかもしれないけれど、でもお父様とお母様にここまで育てていただいたから私は大事にしたいと考えているの。
Well, that's true. She had really been raised with love. And it kind of makes me a little jealous. Well, Akito is unfortunate because his parents passed away early.
ごめんなさい。あなたのご両親は。
And Orihime now realizes, yeah, well, it's okay. I have good memories of both my mom and my dad. So I lost them in an accident, but they did love me. And I'm sure I'm a little jealous, but I absolutely wasn't trying to look down upon her. Well, I'm sorry too, for wanting to get a kiss without getting permission. And I'm embarrassed for losing control. And no matter how cute Orihime is, I need to treat her better.
いいのよ。怒ってなどいないから。私の方こそ拒んでしまってごめんなさい。あなたがその私にキスしようとしてくれたことはとても嬉しく感じていますから。
So her cheeks are flushed red as she looks at me. So my head is filled with thoughts about what it would be like if we did kiss.
その今日はまだちゃんとしたキスは無理ですけれど、今はこれだけで許してくださいね。
So she grabs onto my neck like she's going to, let's see, pounce. So her lips said just kiss just about as close as you can get to the lips. And they technically didn't touch, but it's close to a real kiss.
これくらいなら両親の許しを得なくても。
So I'm in shock after the kiss. Do you think that Orihime would do this herself? And it's so unforeseen that I had just stood there dumbfounded.
アキト君、
Wait, Orihime did kiss me.
唇には触れていませんわよ。
Well, it's not a full kiss yet, so. But it is practically a kiss. Oh, so this is the best feeling ever. And it is over in an instant, but the remnant of her breath is still lingering.
今日はまだ無理ですけれど、次はちゃんとその正式なキスの許可を取ってきますので、その時改めてキスしてくださいね。
And being asked like this, I will not be able to hold back my expectations. So I'll be sure to kiss you next time. And I held her tightly as I said that.
それではまた明日。おやすみなさい。
So Orihime disappears onto the bus. And as I watched the vehicle drive away, I felt a little bittersweet. So Orihime, and I'm sure this is for the best. So the incident has somehow made me feel even more in love with her. And I can't believe how cute she is. I couldn't believe that there's actually a little princess who had asked her parents' permission for everything. And it wasn't even forced, so that's just how Orihime is herself. Well, I'm sure that is what is being raised right. So it is different from every other girl that I had known. And everything about her is somewhat special and shine brightly. Her clear voice, soft skin, and even the smell of her hair and the best of her lips. And the heat of her lips. So every time I thought about it, the more my love grows. Okay, so now Akito's working on the shift. So if I remember from the Japanese version, there's actually a small H scene that happens. And it happens because, well, Orihime and Akito, they go a little bit too far in the footsie battle. And Orihime ends up touching the wrong places for Akito. And so Akito likes Orihime and it triggers him. And so the problem is that it's not the kiss. So they did kiss in that little event, but Akito wants to go all the way with an H scene, and it couldn't happen because, well, I want the permission, or I have to have permission to do it, and that makes more sense. So anyways, to work. So as soon as I started working, Takeichi arrives on his bike, and he had brought me my bag after practice had ended. So maybe practice went longer than usual. So he's eating the pork bun I gave him for getting my bag and waved his hand. It's like, well, the reward is worth it. So I get to eat nice food for helping Akito.
にしても災難だったみたいだな。
Wait, what do you mean?
白鳥さんだよ。逃避行したって盛り上がってたぞ。
So now it's become a gossip. Wait, for real? I hadn't really thought about it. I had just wanted to get her away from trouble at the time. And I'm sure that event is fresh in many people's minds. It must have looked like I'm whisking her away, and it's no wonder that it had become a rumor.
ま、いいんじゃねえの？付き合ってるのは事実なんだし。
He said in a carefree manner while licking pork bun juice off his hand. So by the way, Take, I think I've fallen in love.
はあ？いきなり何なんだよ、お前。
Well, I think he already knows. So what else is wrong? I'm head over heels for Orihime. And of course I asked her out because I liked her, and it's true that I'm ecstatic that we are dating.
確かにな。傍から見ててぶん殴りたくなったよ。
Hey, if you keep talking about her, you're gonna make me jealous and I'm just gonna beat you up. But I'm naive. Well, I just don't get it. She's too cute. And people fall in love multiple times. Well, not like falling in love with different people, but it's just a new side of someone and falling in love again. And to think that she's exists in this world, she's such a goddess.
し、のろけてやがる。
So now you're showing off. Well, love is great, man. It's like everything is colorful.
星を見ない天文部員なんてぼっち臭漂う二つなの秋人はどこへ行ったんだよ。もっと全てを拒絶しろよ。
So I can't believe so many things changed for you. So in the very beginning, when I saw you at Hoshino Dai-ichi, you were the astronomer who never looks at stars. And then, for some reason, your club room got much noisier with more people. And now you have this girl that you want to be with. Well, that's the old me. I'm going to live off of love.
言ってろ、バーカ。
Well, you said it. Takeichi and I always insulted each other. It's how we are. But he's the only person that I could say those things to. I'm sure other people won't take it very well. And, well, thanks, my friend. And uncharacteristically, I thank him and he went off his way.
それでは第2回むつら星定例会を始めます。
Okay, so it's the next day and looks like everything has gone back to normal. So Honoka took the lead and the meeting got underway. So we're calling this the second regular meeting because the first one had been when Honoka has been inaugurated as the new club president. And that still counts as a meeting, as today becomes the second regular meeting. And it still isn't decided exactly what or when we would hold regular meetings, but there is a lot of things to talk about, so a meeting has been called.
まずは皆さん、月曜のプラネタリウムイベントお疲れ様でした。
So first, the planetarium event that went well.
私からも改めてお礼を言わせてください。皆さんありがとうございました。むつら星の会とは違い、個人でやるという話でしたのに、結局6校すべての方に手伝ってもらって本当に感謝しておりますわ。ありがとう、本当にありがとう。
So words are not enough to express how she felt, so she bows to everyone.
いいっていいって、私は結構楽しんでやってたしさ。
Well, it was good.
私はあまりお役に立てませんでしたけど。
Well, I didn't see much of Noriko since she showed up in the middle, but she ended up helping Saya most of the time.
そんなことありませんわ。しっかりブログで記事にしてくださったじゃありませんか。
Well, I thought it's well written.
そうでしょうか。ありがとうございます。
Noriko is a humble girl from Amahai, but she really is an important part of the Six Stars Club. So no matter how far an event is, she's always there with vigor.
本日は最初にイベントについての報告と反省を行いたいと思います。
Honoka took the chairman's position and did a Q&A with each member of the group. So each person knows about their own parts, but the only people who know about the entire deal is the two members from Meiko and myself. So the result is it turned into a beneficial meeting for everyone else.
先々女子の皆さんは衣装代にかかった費用の請求をお願いします。
Okay, so they have to pay all the bills associated with this. So to rent the planetarium, the costs of the costume and the makeup.
はい、伝えておきます。素晴らしい衣装でした。元会長の美貌も数割増しの出来だったと思います。姫さんは元がいいから余計にあれだね。
まさに月の女神アルテミスでした。
まさかそれをあっさりかっさらうオリオンがいるとはさすがに思ってなかったけどね。
So everyone looks at me at the moment.
聞いたよ。空見くんと姫さん付き合い始めたんだろ。
And after that event, you start dating with Hime-san.
おめでとうございます。ま、その辺は会議が終わったら根掘り葉掘り聞かせてもらうとしようか。
And we're kind of curious about what he or Sarami-kun has about this. Alright, I'll be ready. So if you are going to throw all these uncomfortable questions at me, I'll be ready to answer them. At times like this, the man is the main target. And I should just prepare for the worst.
今回のイベントによりたくさんの受験生が我々のことを知ってくれました。これで来年度の新入部員も期待できると思います。明光学院さんは早くも一人確定みたいですしね。我らの妹メローペこと草壁コロナさんが明光学院に合格したとの報告をいただきました。
So I'm sure that's going to happen soon. So we do have one of our favorite people entering this school next year. So Corona Kusakabe.
まだ天文部に入ってくれるかわかりませんが、ぜひとも新戦力として期待したいと思います。
But of course, joining the astronomy club is another question. So even though she will be attending the school, that does not mean that she will be part of you in the new astronomy club.
ということで頼んだわよ、吉岡。
お任せください。
So Honoka took up on Orihime's request. So seeing that exchange hit home once again that she would be graduating soon.
白鳥さん、卒業しちゃうんですよね。古きは去り、新たな和コードがやってくる。自然の断りですわ。ここにいる皆さんもいずれ同じことに直面すると思います。その時はしっかり後輩たちに思いを伝えてください。むつら星の会はそうやって続いていけたら、そう私は願っています。
自分も来年は引退ですから。
So unfortunately, like, well, we have some retirees coming. So Keisuke is going to retire.
私もです。
So does Noriko.
気が早いよ。まだ姫さんがいるってのに。
And I think Narue is going to hold on for a little bit longer. It's like, well, Orihime hasn't retired yet, so it's too early to think about it right now.
そうよ。あと半年以上ありますわ。それまでにやり残したことがないように、悔いのない天文部生活を送ってください。
So, an astronomy club with no regrets.
姫さんは今回のイベントでやりたいことは果たせたのかい？
もちろんですわ。と言いたいところですが、まだまだやりたいことはありますの。卒業まで気を緩めることなく参りますわよ。
So I still want to enjoy everything that I can enjoy before I graduate.
さすが姫さんだ。そうこなくっちゃ。
最後に合宿も控えていますもの。冬の観測会もこれが最後の機会になりそうですから、気合を入れて臨みたいところですわね。
So everyone got serious when they heard about those words. So the Six Stars Club observation camp is close at hand. And not only is this going to be Orihime's last event, but also an important chance to see the stars.
合宿については後ほど話し合いたいと思います。皆さんにお願いしたいこともありますので。
今まで手伝えなかったけど、これからは私も協力いたしますわ。
いえ、白鳥元会長は結構です。
It's like, well, I think it's my turn to shine. So you've already done your part and you're retiring, so I need to show myself worthy as being the new president.
そうですよ、白鳥さん。今回は3年生を送る会でもあるわけですから。
サプライズ期待。
皆さんありがとう。
Well, okay, so let's see what Keisuke had to say.
サプライズ期待しててください。
Okay.
ということで、これから作戦会議だそうです。
So we need to surprise you as like a goodbye present for you, Orihime.
さだ、姫さん退場。
Or for Hime-chan or Hime-san. Orihime is kicked out of the room. And with that, everyone sets their eyes on me, looking for their next prey. So what are they going to do now with Akito?
これで邪魔者はいなくなった。
Okay, so it got rid of the main obstruction.
二人の交際についてすべて話してもらいます。
そういう流れだったの？
Well, I think Narue really wanted to push this. Like, I want to know how your relationship is with Hime-san. And same with Honoka.
なんだかワクワクします。
Wait a minute, this is unfair. So it's 4 versus 1. So you're going to be asking me so many questions, you're going to gang up on me, and you're really going to probe me to the end, and I'm sure... Well, we'll see.
4人じゃないですよ。5人です。
Okay, I'm going to be the guy that represents these girls, so... Oh no, I forgot Keisuke's here.
さあ、覚悟するんだね。
Come on.
覚悟しなさい。
And just as Narue is starting, Sai jumps into the fray. And Noriko and Keisuke are blocking my way out. Okay, we're not gonna let you leave until you talk to us about...
さて、会長と空見くんの付き合いは非常に気になるところですが、今回は別のミッションを授けます。
Well, just kidding, so that's not the reason we're locking you in.
いくらあの方に秘密にすると言っても、限度があるのは事実です。
手伝ってもらいたいところもありますしね。
サプライズにする部分のみは絶対に隠し通すということで、空見くんには協力をお願いしたいんです。
I understand what you're saying, but what do you want me to do?
ありていに言えば監視だね。姫さんを見張っててほしいんだよ。
Okay, so we're planning a surprise for Hime-san, or Orihime, and we don't want her to figure it out, so it's going to be you to guard us and keep Orihime from coming close to us and seeing what secret plan we have in plan.
一人だけの着物にしようものなら、すねて何かやらかすに決まっています。
There you go.
そっか。彼氏のアキト君がついてれば、それで満足するから。
さやさんの言う通りです。密談をする際には会長の相手をしていてほしいのです。
I understand the situation. I would be betraying Orihime, but if it's for a surprise, then I'm sure she would forgive me. So I'm sure in the end it's going to all work out and Orihime will be happy. Okay, I'll do it.
姫さんがおかしな動きを始めたら、その時はすぐに報告すること。いいね。
Okay, I understand.
それでは早速ですが、外でドアにへばりついているあの人を連行して、ここから遠く離れてください。
Okay, so first, lead her far away from our group. And there she is, her ear stuck to the door, trying to eavesdrop and figure out what they're going to do without her and what they're going to do with Akito in the room. So I'm going to leave that to next episode, and we'll see what Akito is going to do with Orihime in an attempt to keep her away from the other 6 Hours Club members so that they can plan something special for Orihime in secret without Orihime finding out. So their relationship is getting better, and I'm sure Akito really wants to go with Orihime all in, but Orihime's like, well, I don't want to upset my parents, so I can't really go forward with this yet. And I do feel that Honoka can sense that, well, Orihime sometimes goes forward too quickly, and it basically makes her feel like she's being too forceful and too overbearing, and for a relationship that's not good. And Honoka has to pull...
何か?
I'm sorry, I actually clicked. So, what it means that, Honoka feels that Orihime sometimes goes too forward or too fast, and it kind of feels like she's basically being dominant and being overbearing on Akito, and that's not good in a relationship. It's like, well, maybe you should step back a little bit and just let things work their way out. But anyways, we'll see how Akito and Orihime's relationship continues in the next episode.